And what bhikkhus is the taking up of the burden? It is this craving that leads to renewed existence, accompanied by delight and lust, seeking delight here and there. That is, craving for sensual pleasures, craving for existence, craving for extermination. This is called the taking up of the burden. So, the burden, five aggregates, subject to clinging. Also, the five aggregates in general, but that's a more refined understanding. So, the five aggregates subject to clinging. Burden. Who carries the burden? The person, the individual, me, mine, myself. What is the taking up of the burden? Why do we want to take up this burden, create this burden, fill a backpack with all kinds of stuff and just lug it on our shoulders, pick up our world, make it even heavier than it needs to be? Why? Because of tanha, second noble truth, our craving. Although, again, it's one of those things where I think it makes more sense if you go with the literal definition. Tanha is a word that existed. Buddha didn't make up the word. Tanha means thirst. My precious, yeah, going for golem. Now that's actually perfect. We need to get some memes in our Discord regarding that. But the elder of this house, right? Craving, second noble truth. First noble truth is dukkha, right? The five aggregates subject to clinging. What is the origin of the five aggregates subject to clinging? Our craving, our thirst. The reason why I like using the word thirst better is because it connects with another word that the Buddha used, which is called kamogha. Kama is sensual pleasures, like experiences that are pleasant, pleasurable, right? And that we seek through our senses. Pleasant sights, pleasant sounds, pleasant tastes. And ogha means a flood. So what the Buddha is telling us is as soon as we are born, we are immersed in a kamogha. We're immersed in a flood of sensual pleasures. Right? There's many things, even I can just look around me and I can see many things and many possibilities for pleasant experiences, right? Pleasant feelings to chase after, right? I'm totally surrounded in it, just like you guys are, right? So we are totally immersed in a sea of sensual pleasures. And as long as we are thirsty, and you're like, dang it, there's still so much I wanted to do and see and experience. There's too many. The flood is unable to be experienced in one life. Actually, it's unable to be experienced in probably a trillion lifetimes. But this is what we want, and so this craving, this thirst for further, we come to the end of the life, and it's like, well, I'm not quite done yet. Let's do it again. Let's go around again. All right. And so that's why thirst is so powerful, right? Once you stop being thirsty, you let go. You can be immersed in a kamogha, but you're not partaking of it. It's just there, right? You're not thirsty for it anymore. You're not giving it fuel anymore. You're giving the lamp, it goes out. You become extinguished. Right? So because we have this thirst, we build the person and take up the burden. That's the way it goes. All right? And the Buddha defines three types of thirst. thirst for sensual pleasures, as I just talked about, thirst for existence, as I also just talked about, right? Oh man, I will wait till, hopefully I come back in the future and there's more cool things. Like I can be a spaceship captain and I can go into, explore the planets or whatever, right? Thirst to come back again, right? Or maybe, oh man, hopefully I'll get into the Devas realms and I can have my 72 dove-footed nymphs. It'll be awesome, right? There's all kinds of excitement and thirst for more, better, greater, wonderful experiences. That's the way it is. We can see that just in this very life. We want the newest iPhone. And then after a year, it kind of loses its luster. And then there's a new iPhone coming out. So let's get the newest iPhone. Right? That's unsatiable thirst. And there's also the craving to not exist. Right? Which is an interesting one. I guess you could see it in a couple different ways. Like a real hatred of, I don't want to be in samsara anymore. I hate living, right? Then you try to end it. Or it could be, well, this whole samsara thing is not as good as advertised. I think I'm going to practice to become extinguished. Right? So you can have a desire to become extinguished. Right? If you don't, then you're not going to put in the practice. There are such things as good desires, good craving. Ananda in a sutta says, the Ananda is asked, is there such a thing as good craving? And he says, yes, the craving to end all craving. So using our craving, thought, desires to end craving is skillful. Because eventually, maybe not in this lifetime, but maybe in many lifetimes to come, if you keep building up that craving to end craving, then you will end all craving. I think being suicidal would definitely count as a craving to end existence, right? If there's so much suffering that you want to end it, that's a craving, that's a desire. And so we're stuck in samsara. Don't want to keep going. We want to chase after sensual pleasures. We're just running around in circles. That's the way it goes. All right, friends. I think we're good. So I wish you a very spiritually successful and peaceful day. Sukhi Hotu, may you be happy, practice well, and be well. I'll see you tomorrow.